Yes, 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 my friends. Hey guys, this is Eric Green based out of Jacksonville, Florida, and just want to take a minute and welcome everybody to this training. Um, again, Eric Green, my business partner, Paul Turner out of the UK. Say hi, Paul.
Hello, how you doing, everybody? It's late for me in the UK. It's past 8 o'clock. Hurry up, it's bedtime.
Well, we have an exciting training. We're actually here with one of our fearless leaders. Uh, we're here with Lori Benson. Lori and West are, just some people we admire, respect in the home-based business industry, and we've decided to align with these guys, and it's just been incredible. And you guys are here. If you're watching this later, you're probably getting this through our school group. And today we have Lori, who here's the thing. So, and I'll just be real quick, and then we're going to pass it over and have Lori start this training. But, social media for me, I found sort of social media YouTube back in 2008, 2009, and it really changed my life, right? It allowed me now, it opened up an entire marketplace, an entire world that I wasn't used to before. I was in home business and I was the guy just trying to talk to people in the local donut shop, right? So to have the opportunity now to go out and meet people all over the world, to share different business opportunities and things that I was doing, was just blew my mind, right? So I dug in and I've been involved in social media since, and it's been incredible. But there are people, okay, and I've done pretty well on social media, and with social media, I was able to leave corporate America, been full time on online for a while now. Um, but there are people that just take things to another level. And Lori is one of those people. She's leveraged social media exclusively. From what I know, you can tell if I'm wrong, Lori, but you've used social media, free platforms, not paid advertising, and has generated, seven figures in this industry, over $100,000 a month. And I just want everybody to take that in as you watch this training and as we go through this with Lori, because that's not that is like the 1% of one percenters, okay? It's an amazing, amazing feat. And so we're just, we're blessed to have her here. We're blessed to have some time with her to share. And I just want you guys to take all this in, take this blueprint in, and you might be shocked because a lot of people are looking for the golden answers, the golden goose. And the reality is, you know, this can be very, very simple, I think. And we'll go through this with Lori. If you're consistent, and you're plugged in with the right community, which you guys are, and you have the type of leadership that can help you. And if you'll just go out and do these things every single day and be consistent and just be patient and allow that work to bring back what you're ultimately looking for, um, you know, you can do it. And she's done it to a level that I think all of us would aspire to. So with that said, Paul, I know you're sort of emceeing. I'm gonna let Lori take over and go through this social media blueprint. And we're excited to have you here, Lori.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, Eric and Paul, for having me here. And I'm super excited to be aligned with you guys because y'all do some incredible things that I can't do. So that's why we surround ourselves with the best, right? Well, let me just tell you a little bit about my backstory. Eric told you a little bit, but when I started in network marketing was probably back in 2016, and I owned a restaurant and I was a real estate broker. So I was super busy. And at the time, I was making good money, but what I didn't have was time freedom. I had two kids in high school. I was missing my kids' football games and things that were really important to me as a mom because I had to work. I wanted to give them a life I never had. And so I discovered network marketing and I didn't know social media. I signed up with someone who was not a great sponsor. I was not on a team that you have here formed with Paul and Eric, myself and West, and others that are going to help guide you and teach you the things. I really had to just fail forward. I would say I had success even in my first company because I was so committed to getting that time freedom. So I quickly rose to earning like five and $6,000 a month, and I was happy with that. However, I really needed to make over 10 grand a month to exit those businesses and do network marketing full time. So I personally gave myself 2 years. I said, you know what, guys, I would show up and I'm say, with or without you, I'm going to move on. In 2 years, you're not going to see me in this restaurant anymore. And because I was super committed and consistent every day, I did that in a year. I was able to make $10,000 a month in that time frame. And so I was able to exit that and really take my business to another level because I didn't have that. I'm not encouraging anybody to quit their job, but I didn't have that crutch to fall back on. So it was a sink or swim, and I'm going to swim. And so I just was like, you know what? I gotta find out how to go through this ceiling of, where I'm at now and do bigger things because I wanted to inspire other people that if I can do it, you can do it. Because that's what I saw in people was I saw people doing 10 grand a month and I was like, if he can make 10 grand a month, so can I. And so I started teaching myself network marketing, social media, and I only use Facebook predominantly. I mean, I've played around on TikTok and Instagram, but I really focus on just Facebook. And I was with a company and I went to transition to another company, and in their policy, I had to start a new Facebook. And so I was like, okay, what did I do to get to where I'm at? Because I got to do this all over again. So I sat down in the floor of my condo in Florida because by this point I was living at the beach and doing this full time. And I was like, I got to duplicate this and show lots of other people what I did to go to this next level that I wanted to go to. Even though I was happy with the money, I still wanted to, I love to show people the possibilities. And so I sat down with a notebook and I was like, okay, this is what I did first. This is what I did second. And I wrote it out. And honestly, I put it together on a blueprint and I've taught thousands of people to do what I did. And I've helped several women primarily because in the product that I was using at the time was pretty women focused. So I helped a lot of women make a full-time income. Some make six figures plus a year, and I've helped thousands of women create a part-time income. And the way I wanted to do that was to show people that with just like 20 minutes here in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, and 20 minutes at night, you can do this too, because we don't all have the time to do social media full time. So as I did the 20 minutes in the morning, the afternoon, and night, I started to just think, okay, I have more time. I'm just going to do it more, So I just compounded my efforts of what I was doing and just did the same exact things more times during the day to where I grew my business to the point that Eric shared with you that I was making six figures a month in health and wellness and showed a lot of people how to do the same. So we're going to share with you just a little overview of what that looks like because guys, it is simple. I didn't use ads. I didn't do anything special other than just being really consistent. And to be honest with you, there was a small time frame that I wasn't in network marketing, but I still stayed consistent with the things that I'm going to share with you because it works and there's a method to the process of what you need to do on Facebook particularly. So that's what we're going to share with you about is Facebook. So Paul, if you want to share this screen, guys, this is basically what I wrote out in 2018. There's only been a couple of tweaks to it since then because, Facebook added stories or something like that that I found to be, also a great place to connect with people and to be consistent. So we're going to go through this. So the step one you're going to see here is to expand your sphere of influence. So, a lot of times people think, oh, I only have 200 friends or whatever. It's not really about the number of friends as it is the quality of the people that you connect with, that they're in line with what it is that you're sharing. And so you can join, home-based business groups, or if you're in health and wellness, this can work for any company. So we're not specific to a company right now with what I'm sharing here. However, we are talking about TalkFusion. So you can see if you connect in these groups, even if it's a community group or an interest group that has nothing to do with what you're selling at the time, but yet it is a place that you can connect with people that are on the same page as you. Maybe you enjoy, food prep. you can connect and make friends in that group on food prep, and they're going to friend you in your Facebook world, and then they're going to start to see all the other things that you offer. So there's a variety of ways for you to add new people to your sphere of influence. So we'll go on to the next. So that's going to be
What
step one.
what sort of groups would you say for Talk Fusion in particular? Have you got any sort of particular insights you can share or?
Yeah, for Talk Fusion, the groups that I've seen that work really well are any type of home-based business groups, or even like we live in Texas, so I join like Texas Business Networking, because a lot of the people that we attract are professionals who are looking for a way to really stand out in the marketplace. So, I share the growth and the stats that go along with email marketing, as well as we can use it on other platforms with text and social media, but there is power in email. And so getting in those groups has been great. I also do, research on stats to see, like I shared with you guys, like
Yeah.
other countries that, are coming on strong with email and that have the desire to build in that. So, getting into those groups of interest are key as well. So the next step here is going to be to connect with people. So before you just go slap a post on Facebook and think, oh, this sounds good, or I saw somebody else post it and they got great response. Just because they got great response doesn't mean you're going to get great response if you don't go through some of this process of how to do it. And honestly, it may look like a lot here, but it's really simple. It's little simple things that are just going to become like habit to you when you start to know this is what I do first, this is what I do next, and you'll just go through a few non-negotiables every day that'll get you to where you need to go in time. So engage with other people, whether it's people that are in your news feed, but I especially like to go engage with people that I want to see my stuff. So if I were particularly wanting to enroll Eric, I'm going to go every day and comment on Eric's stuff and be supportive and complimentary and, engage with him. Because when I post, he's going to see me. So if I'm not seeing Eric posting, he's not seeing me post most likely. So engage with those people that you really want to see your stuff and bring in new people. If you're only engaging with the people in your newsfeed, you're only going to continue to see those people. And we want to expand that. So pick some people, each day or each week and just really focus in on making them part of your daily method of operation and just go comment on their stuff, just normal life things. We're not pitching these people. We're not trying to talk about our opportunity or anything like that. And so then we're going to move on to step 3, share tools to succeed. And so, with this, we have like a 4-step system here at Talk Fusion that we follow. We keep it really simple that anyone can do. We don't want you to try to share all the message. So it may be that you're going to share a video or a Zoom or a 3-way call, a 3-way chat, whatever the case may be, is use other tools to show people that they don't have to know it all. They don't have to be a presenter. They don't have to be a trainer or anything like that. It is a simple system that duplicates, and we have every bit of that in place for you. And it's really just that simple as 1, 2, 3, 4, like simple little steps of what we're going to do here to share the story of Talk Fusion. So we can scroll on down to those daily action steps. So this is what I was talking about when you do 20 minutes in the morning, afternoon, and evening. So I personally like to do some type of self-development in the morning, whether it's listen to inspirational music, audible, or read. I love to read. So I just believe that you have to pour into yourself first before you can pour into others. And in this business or any business, you get told no a lot, and that's okay. It's part of doing the right things. But some people can get discouraged by that. Or if I used to start my day without this at times, and I would get that phone call that was like somebody was frustrated about this or that. And I said, you know what? From now on, and even to this day, my close friends, they do not call me until after 9 o'clock in the morning, because they know that my phone is on do not disturb, because I'm giving myself some personal time to do the things I want to do. And so it's not being selfish, but it's like starting the day in the right mood, you know? So you're not starting your day in their mood, you're like filling yourself first. And so after that, I would say go engage. I mean, 20 posts is an example. That doesn't take any time. But what I find is people get on social media and they just scroll. They're just looking. They're just like, I tell Wes, you're in the scroll hole. Get out of the hole. Like, go do something productive while you're there. So comment on other people's posts and other people's stories because we're going to use posts and stories, and that engagement is key in both of those areas. So you want to do that first. And then you want to create your post after you've done that engagement. And so you can share whatever the case may be for the day. It could be lifestyle, it could be business, educational, whatever it is, you still do it in this order. You engage, you post, and you engage. So you can call it like, I've heard it called an engagement sandwich. You know, it's like put your post in between the two engagements that you're doing there. So because Facebook likes for you to be social here. They're not okay with you just posting links and just posting things and leaving the platform. They want you to engage. And almost every platform, I would say, is the same way, whatever you're using. And so for here at Talk Fusion, we have Facebook chats and we also use WhatsApp. I really encourage you to stay on top of your business and check those daily with whatever business it is. But for here, it's Talk Fusion. And so we post important updates or, you know, accomplishments like as of today, these guys ranked up here. So we shared that within those groups because we really believe in edification and celebrating people when they do things. So you want to stay connected to your team. And then in the afternoon, you could spend another 20 minutes, add some more new friends, because we're never going to say we run out of people to share this with. We're going to always have new friends. And you see the word engage again. Like this is so key in everything that we're doing here is engaging with other people and networking. You know, so just have a method to the process of what we're doing here. And it's going to get really simple as you see when you go through the flow of it. Sending birthday messages. We have video templates here at Talk Fusion. So it's not just a text of like happy birthday. You can actually record yourself in a beautifully branded custom template, or we have some pre-designed templates that are really fun. And you can text those video messages over. You can send them on Messenger. You can post them on social media or email it. And it's just a really unique way for you to really stand out and share happy birthday in a personal way. So we encourage you to do that. And then following up. So the post that you made that morning is going to have comments or reactions to it. Reach out to those people. You know what? Thanks, Paul, for, you know, showing some love on my post today. How are things going? Just have conversation with these people and it will eventually turn into maybe what you're doing. What is this you're posting about? You know, so you're not having to like cold message and pitch people all the time. You're just really like making those connections that turn into business contacts for you. And so then in the evening, you
I
see
was
it
just
again.
going to share this real quick because I had it
Yeah,
open. So Laurie
awesome.
said there, I mean, I learned this from somebody years ago. You know, Facebook says, hey, these people have their birthdays today. You can
Yeah.
record your little video email and there's like happy 18th, look, 21st, there's all these different templates. When you send a video email, you can actually get the link for it. So you don't have to send it as an email. You could send it in Facebook Messenger. But could you imagine if you're sending somebody, you know, hey, Laurie, I see it's your birthday today. You know, just want to send you this. And then there's a video. And at the bottom of every one, it says powered by Talk Fusion,
Yep.
which is a lovely thing. It's dead easy to do because I used to do it. I used to send out, hey, happy birthday, just as a way of getting that engagement with somebody. So, and it's
Yeah.
non-business, it's non-threatening. You're just wishing somebody happy birthday. Could you do that? I mean, easy.
Yep. Yeah, Wes sings happy birthday every day. I'm like, God bless these people for going through this song. But now it's, you know, it's fun. It's on the template and all that. So we have fun with it. Because, you know, that's part of having business is having fun and enjoying what you do. So we love that. So as you see on the evening, here we go. We've only spent 40 minutes so far. So this is our last 20 minutes of the day. We're going to be putting in an hour each day. So again, engage on the post and the stories you did this morning. You know, engaging with more people. If you want to post again, like I post most of the time in the mornings because I found that my audience is pretty much more of a morning audience. But you can test it out and see, do mornings work better for you? Do nights? Do afternoons? I don't usually get very good response in the afternoons because I think my audience is either busy, they're working or whatever. So I get better from mine in the morning or late at night. So you're going to basically kind of rinse and repeat as you see. You're going to engage, you're going to post, and you're going to engage again and reaching out in Messenger to people. So this is just creating, 5 conversations about, you know what, I love that post that you made today about taking your grandkids to the park. I have a great time when I have my grandkids around. Just creating relationships and engaging with people again because they're going to start to know, like, and trust you. And that's who you typically buy from, is people that like, and trust, even though they will buy from you if maybe you're not in that category yet because you've shown them some value to what it is that you're sharing. But a lot of times that's how it works. And so you want to follow up with those people who engaged on your post or your templates or whatever. So make that part of your process each day as well. And so we're going to scroll on up just a little bit more.
How far?
And no, you're good.
Tips?
Yeah, the purple is good. So you're going to see right here, I just kind of broke it down into just some, simple, like almost bullet points here for you guys, with ideas on, your posting and your comments and your engagement. So you're going to see those here, and then we'll scroll down just a little bit more. And you're going to see some, I think, non-negotiables. Yeah. So I like to just say, think of the things that you're going to do every day and do them no matter what. So these are things that I feel like are non-negotiables when you're building your business at Talk Fusion, or any business, is to do this. So I've built brick and mortar businesses with steakhouses and, really through just social media by doing these same things. So it works for brick and mortar, it works for network marketing. And so I would just really encourage you to really set your mind on the goal that you're after. For me, it was 2 years to make 10,000 a month. I dug in, I did these things every single day, and I did it in a year. And then I just kept on 10xing it from there. I mean, I can remember the first time I made like 40 grand. I was single, sitting in a restaurant at lunch. I literally had tears come down my face, and I'm like, is this really happening to me? I had to get up and leave the restaurant and go sit in my car because I'm like, I'm fixing to start bawling sitting here in this restaurant by myself having lunch in Fairhope, Alabama. I know exactly where I was when it happened. And so, I just know that if I can do this, guys, you can do this. But it does matter that you connect with, the right team of people that put resources together, because Paul and Eric are great at things that I'm not great at. And that's why I, align with people like them to be able to build something even bigger than what I've been able to build with just Facebook, because they're powerhouses in what they do as well. So I'm happy to answer any questions if you guys have anything. I don't want to keep you long. I just wanted to share, the simple things that you can do every day to expand your network and your business.
So I've
Thank
got
you.
one for you. I've got a doozy of a one for you. So you're doing a lot of engagement, a lot of connecting. How do you transfer that into a sale? How do you actually kind of either get them to ask you, or do you reach out to them? How do you transition that into a customer?
Well, so when you're reaching out, like if these people are just engaging on your post and they're not necessarily saying anything to you, is just, reaching out, hey, Deborah, thank you so much for taking time to support my post today. I love that you posted about whatever, you want to compliment them. What is it that you do, Deborah? Just starting a conversation to where it doesn't feel like I'm trying to pitch them, but I'm going to work into it to where it feels like a natural flow for me. I'm not, my husband, on the other hand, is very good at cold marketing, messaging, calling. That's never really been my thing. Mine has always been kind of a natural progression of the conversation. If it doesn't get asked, I do share with them, but again, it still felt really natural in the way that I worked it into that conversation. So if Deborah said, you know what, I work from home for XYZ company, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. You know, my goal was always to be able to work from home, and I've been super blessed that I was able to get out of the restaurant business and real estate business and have time freedom, you know, sharing a digital product now that helps businesses really stand out in the marketplace, you know, that type of conversation. So I kind of like the natural flow best.
Curiosity by the sounds of it, because you didn't say video, email, Talk Fusion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Get it. Thank
And
you.
I want to bring up engagement because I kind of call it the content trap. I think a lot of people are looking for that. What's that one post, Lori? What's that one video that's going to just
Yeah.
make me all this? And I think people underestimate or don't understand that in my opinion,
Mhm.
engagement is the
Yeah.
top of the ladder.
Yeah.
And it's so, like you said, it's so easy to do, but people don't do it. They just scroll. They literally will just scroll. And in that time, that 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they're just scrolling. They
Yeah.
could have engaged.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how good your post is. I know you write some great posts. Sometimes I write a great post and I like, wow, this post is phenomenal. But if you're not engaging, nobody is seeing your content. No, they're not connected with your content. So how important is that? And do you find that over all these years working with all these people, do you find that an issue as well? People just don't, for whatever reason, they'll put content out, but they won't engage.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Like I said, you could take something that went viral for somebody else and do the same thing, and it doesn't work because you don't see what they did behind the scenes to get there, you know? And also, even really being consistent with time. Like, even this week, I've kind of played around with it because Facebook's algorithm, as well as all other platforms, change all the time. So last week, you know, I had it very timed. This week, I did play around with it a little. Like this morning, I posted later in the day. It did not do well, you know? So, it is important to be consistent. But that engagement, like I said, you saw that a lot in that document. It is key. Because if people come to me and say, "Oh, I'm not getting any response to this or that," and I go look and it's the same three people who comment, I'm like, I can promise you, you're not going and commenting on other people's posts. You're engaging with these three or four people all the time, and they're really the only ones seeing it. So I think I shared some stats with you guys this morning. Like, you know, it's only like 2 to 5% of the people that are going to see your post on social media consistently if you don't do, you know, some of these simple things to try to expand that for yourself. So that's why we love the power of email too, because, you know, the click-through rate, the response rate is way higher than social media, even though social media is powerful. You know, the combination of all of it together is what's really going to help you take your business to the next level.
Is there
Any
anybody?
questions, Paul, that came through?
No, not on the chat. Is that listen, you're with somebody here who makes 6 figures a month using free stuff on social media. Right? One of the reasons me and Eric, Laurie approached us to help with like the school community, and you can get the guide, by the way, in the school group. Currently step 3, but I guess they may change as we add more trainings or whatever. But when we looked, one of the reasons we joined, we said, oh, we're going to join, right? One of the reasons is, we want to learn from Laurie. Me and Eric should be 7-figure earners with what we know, right? We should be, when we're not. And Laurie, I hate you because you did it in 9 years. I've been doing it longer than you, and I'm not there yet. So I don't like you just for that reason. It's more about me than you, but hey. But you know what I mean, guys. You are with Laurie, who makes 6 figures
It's
a month.
actually my third year that I started making 100 grand.
Okay.
We're going to keep saying 9 because it makes us feel better.
I can
my
see the way this
total
relationship's going. I can see the way this relationship's going to go. So one of the reasons we joined that is just to get access to Laurie, and you are here with her now. Okay. Some of you I know at the minute are just looking. You're not in Talk Fusion. Do you have any questions while you have access to Laurie? Do not be scared to ask. She's very nice, really.
I'm just being sassy with Paul.
It's all good. A lot of people don't get
Well,
it.
I'll ask for them because I know this is a question. And you probably run into this, Lori. You've worked with a lot of people. And I guess the answer started another Facebook page, but Lori, I've got friends and family. I don't want to, again, and it's interesting because everything you're really talking about, yes, you'll bring up the business opportunity, but that's not necessarily what you post you're posting, letting people get to know who you are. You're
Yes.
posting things that are going on in your life. You're sharing what you like outside of home-based business, what your other passions are. And it's all to connect with people. Now, the one thing and I heard this years ago, the one thing, it doesn't matter what anyone's passion is, we all need to make money. So if you met someone I like the BMX bike group, well, that guy may love BMX bikes, but he also may love the idea of making an extra $1,000 a month, right? So,
He would really love
really,
instant pay.
an instant pay. So how do you work with people that are just they're just there's fear. There's fear there, about posting, about putting themselves out there. I know your stuff is very, very authentic, which I think is important as well. Like how do you help those folks?
Well, so I think you'll see that, like you said, on my page, I don't post like uh salesy posts. I do try to get people to know, like, and trust me. I do try to inspire people with the possibilities because there was a time in my life when I was a really broke single mom and I didn't know from week to week if I was going to have my lights turned off or whatever. So when people know like your story, they know where you came from, it's easier for them to also follow the story and celebrate you when you do good things. Um, but for people who are, worried about like if I go post and nobody's going to say anything, we generally have a group of people who are going to rally with you and support you and validate your post and help you out so you're not feeling like, oh man, I just posted and nobody said anything. Even though that's not, initially getting you the business, it is helping you get out there. And that's the thing is like taking the action and then becoming really unattached to the outcome, learning that you are posting your authentic self and you're not attached to like what happens with that. You felt good about it. You felt like it was inspiring people or whatever. But also, when it comes to family and friends, I can tell you, I don't recall any family, like close family, ever doing business with me because family generally is not going to be your supporters. And that's in any business. In my steakhouse, there were many family members that never showed up because to some degree, family likes for you to stay stuck in that mindset of where they've been. They don't want to see you do really well, even though that sounds terrible. um, it's the truth. And so I just became unattached to the outcome because, like I said, I knew in my heart I was going to do this with or without these people. I wanted to do it with them, but I needed freedom. I wanted to be with my kids because now I look back and when I see people at the beach with their small kids, I miss that because I was working. So I literally am like brought to tears at times because I'm like, man, I wish I had found this when what could I have done for my kids, my family, myself? So I just became unattached to who does this with me because I needed some time freedom. And I knew that this was the only thing that was going to give me that because in the eyes of like success for a single mom at this point when I found network marketing, I was there. I was making great money as a real estate broker and a restaurant owner, but I worked in both of those businesses 7 days a week, day in, day out, and I did not want to do that for the rest of my life. So I've been able to do things for my kids I would have never done. I've got a kid in med school. It's 80 grand a semester, guys. It's a lot. And you have two households, two cars, all the things that, you know, I couldn't do this in any traditional business. I could not provide the life that I've wanted to give my kids. I've been able to send him to study abroad in London over the summers for things that he wanted to do. I've sent him on trips around the world. It feels like they've been to Greece for 2 and 3 weeks at a time. And I know it's not about the things, but it's about like what money allows you to do to create memories to things that you'll never forget. My son and his wife got married. I bought them their first house on a lake, gave them the house, bought them a car, things that it might not have meant so much about those material things, but it was about like I knew what I did and how I struggled through my young life to get somewhere, and I wanted to show them different. And so they've become very entrepreneurial themselves and have been successful in their own businesses. My son's got 8 more months, I think, yeah, of med school. Um, and so I'm just super blessed to be able to do all of this through Facebook. I don't do in-home meetings. I don't do wellness fairs, nothing against those types of things, but I'm kind of introverted. I'm very introverted. I'm not going to say kinda. So being able to sit right here by myself on my computer and help people do things, it feels good to be able to help other people not feel what I felt when I was a young broke mom, because you feel very deflated when you are week to week, not being able to do the things you want. And I'm just telling you, with the power of network marketing and the power of social media, you can do whatever you want to do. But be realistic with it. Nothing is get rich quick. Like I had that 2-year plan and I did it in a year. I didn't say 2 months. I didn't say 2 weeks. I see people in 2 days, go, oh, it didn't work. 2 years, like be committed to it. Cause I looked at it like, you know what? I don't watch TV, but if I did, like, is it not worth turning off TV if I can make an extra 5 grand a month doing this an hour a day, 10 grand a month and just keep on? Yes, it is. So that's what I did. So I know that was a long answer to your question, Eric, but I kind of get like on a roll when I start thinking about what people can do with this.
Well, it's just awesome because you mentioned introvert, and I think I know Paul and I deal with a lot of people. I'm kind of a weird mix between introvert and extrovert. I can be out there, and then I can be like I want to be in a cave by myself with nobody around. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
it's a weird place to be, but we run into a lot of introverts, and it's just cool to know that you've done this behind the computer screen. You've done this on over instant messenger chats. Like it hasn't been done on the phone and spending an hour on the phone and calling someone that you don't know randomly and all these things. And and that should be inspiring to people. Now, question, I know Paul does this. Paul has his little list of his, what is it, the top, what do you
100
got, Paul?
lists,
Is it the top 100 or the top,
Yeah.
100.
right? So when you were beginning and doing this, I'm sure your chats were just filled up with just conversations after conversations. How
Yeah.
did you manage that? And was there certain things that you look for, even though maybe you were just kind of engaging back and forth on regular everyday stuff? How did you I kind of identify or look for? Was there a specific type of, okay, I think this person, I need to get this person in the business. I know they could be good. I know I can help them. I know I can work with them. What was your mindset when you were kind of working through these connections that you made?
Well, I can tell you some of the things that I did that I could have redone was wanting it for people more than they wanted it for themselves. I wasted time in the beginning on people that I knew had potential, but they just weren't there yet. So just identifying that they really have that burning desire like I had to want something different. And, if they said they did, and then I give them an action step to go do something and they didn't go do it, that really identified to me that they're really not that person yet. Not that I gave up on them, but they weren't the ones I was going to focus on and try to run with, was the people who, if I said, let's do this blueprint and they started doing it every day, I'm going to lock in with them until we get them to where they need to be. But the ones that, you ask them to get on the next Zoom or do whatever and they don't, you're like, okay, it's really not that important, because like I said, turn off the TV, put down the hobby, whatever the case may be, if you really want to go to that next level. So I think there's just, things you can identify in people by the actions that they take and, things they do on their social media that you may give them, to do, or just in the conversation if you haven't even enrolled them yet is, them really opening up to you about where they are and how they really are ready for change. Like they're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I also really like what you said about business networking groups, because I used to go to a couple of business networking groups. There's only one reason why people get up early to go to these breakfast business meetings is because they want more business, i.e.,
Yep.
they want to make more money, right?
Yeah.
They'll tell you, oh, it's just to make connections and all. No, you wouldn't
Yeah.
go if you didn't want more business, right? So having done it, I'm going to focus on those, I think, a little bit because they tend to be entrepreneurial as well. They want
Yes.
to make
Very.
money.
Hmm.
And all you're doing is helping a tool that can help them promote their current business, whether it's
Yeah.
insurance, window cleaning, restaurant, hotel. So I really, really,
Yeah.
really, and I'll probably
And they
talk to
have
Laurie separately.
virtual ones now. You can do virtual networking meetings.
I
And
wouldn't even necessarily go to the meeting. I know there's lots
yeah,
of Facebook groups full of
yeah,
business, and all their information is public domain. You could drop them a
yep,
video email, just
yep,
record one video or use the company ones. And I mean, send a template and just go, hey, I saw you in this group. I don't know if you're looking to build your business. Because for a business, this is like, it's like as
yeah.
little as $20 a month,
We're
$50 a month
every
for the.
business's best friend. I mean, we're not competing with anybody.
I could see me sat here sending out those sort of
Yeah,
messages on Facebook groups all
yeah.
day long.
Nobody has video email with what we have for the value. Like, there is no competition. And that was the first company I chose. I was in skincare and I saw somebody use a product that I had never seen before. I could care less back then about skincare because I never had skin problems, but I saw the opportunity of this demonstrating this product. Same with this. It's about timing. It's about, the being a category creator. And what better timing? I mean, at the time of this video, you may watch it later, but we're only less than 2 months old. So it's great timing. This team that Paul and Eric are launching is new. And so that's even better timing because we all build together. So that's really exciting for people too.
All right, any
You
questions?
guys, I
Go ahead, Eric.
yeah,
Sorry.
I'm just going to keep asking because I didn't see anything in chat. But how do you handle? So I'm using the blueprint. I'm talking to people. I've got somebody sort of excited. I've passed them the information. Maybe it's a video, something like that. At what point can I say, "Hey, let me transition you over"? And did you guys set up like a three-way chat on Instant Messenger? Like, let me introduce Lori. I work with Lori, and then you kind of take over. How does
Yeah.
that work with you guys?
I think for me, the best way was most of the people I was working with had a job, so they would be like, you know what, I want this to be easy access for you because I might be at work and you might have questions. If it's okay with you, I'm going to go ahead and add my friend Lori to this chat because she helps me out when I'm busy and she'll be able to answer all your questions. And they just connect us. And I'm like, hey, Deborah, nice to connect. I'm here at your convenience. I'll watch for you when you pop in. We didn't have to set a scheduled time for the call. People felt like it was very, easy access without like feeling awkward of setting up a three-way call or scheduling something. And so then we would just kind of interact in that chat. And then when they enrolled, we actually just left the chat there as like their support chat so they could pop in there at any point and go, hey, I just talked to Charles and he's asking me this. What do I need to send him? I'm like, here, send this, or here, this is your video. Um, and so therefore we came up with boards, which pretty much has everything that you could need to run your business in the palm of your hand. So, but they still have those available so we can, pop in. So we try to make it more about, the convenience for the guest or the prospect than anything.
So you guys really, I mean, what I really admire is how well you simplify everything. So you guys really teach people, when you say, hey, if you've only got an hour or two a day, because a lot of people say, oh, if you got an hour a day, but the reality is, you know, um, some people only have an hour and a half a
Yeah.
day, and it's things aren't simple. They're trying to figure things out. They never ever get off the ground because they don't have a simple process in place. But you guys have really developed because duplication is everything. Obviously you couldn't have gotten to a six-figure a month without having a
Right.
great system in place that duplicates. There's just no way that's going to happen. So I think we're talking about boards that we just pulled this up. I know we're kind
Yeah,
of
just showing
deviating a
all the
bit, but
stuff that you've got available to you, like that. Me and Eric, we're passing people to Laurie sometimes. Sometimes it's much better to be the point person than the pitch person. So, like, we do it for our team. Sometimes, you kind of need somebody else to explain it rather than you. So you're not salesy, even if you're more than capable, kind of deal. So, and having Laurie and West, who are more than happy to do it, makes such a huge, huge, huge difference. Sometimes it is about the team you join. That
Yes.
makes sense, rather than, the sponsor you join, rather than, you
Well, you
know,
don't have to try to reinvent the wheel. Everything's done for you, because so many times you get into a business and you have a lot of, excitement, but then it's like, man, what do I do now?
yeah.
So I've been there.
And
So,
this is a case in point. We asked Laurie to do this because the document's great, but we kind of need a bit more meat on the bone and to be able to ask questions. And Laurie and Laura. I'm going to get confused with that all the time now, aren't I? Laurie. So Laura's asking, she's switching her Facebook page to a future business, so she's transitioning from one
yeah.
business into another. Really didn't post a lot, but it covered it kind of. She wanted to kind of describes what I currently do, which I don't really want to do in the future. So I know what she does. She's doing one business now. It's not an online thing. She wants to move into something else. Did you post about your transition at all and why you wanted to do something else? I know you said you weren't salesy, but have you ever mentioned that, or is it something I won't even mention? So is he kind of saying, should you kind of say, no, I've stopped doing this and I'm doing this, I think now instead?
No, I never did say.
Okay.
I never try. I mean, people do those exit strategies and all that. I never did. I also tried to make my Facebook where people didn't really know what I was doing. So it could kind of be universal for anything. Um, so you're welcome to, scroll through my page. You may see some things that specifically speak about, a certain thing that might make you think it's a business. But I would, if you're not going from one network marketing company to another, um, if you're transitioning from network marketing company to another, you technically, most of them don't allow you to do a post about a new company on your page. But that's where I was when I wrote this blueprint. I was transitioning from a company who said, when you move to another company, you cannot mention this new company on your current page. And so I had to start a fresh new page, which is the page I'm on now. And so I would just say, just do it naturally. Just start sharing and following this blueprint and building it up. Because that blueprint's what I did to start a new page. So it's really that simple. It's just going to take you some time, so just give yourself some grace while you're doing it.
Eric's just sent me this. So if you guys want to go and check out Laurie's page, there we go. It's facebook.com/ the Laurie Ann Benson. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. So you can kind of get a feel for kind of things Laurie's doing. I know she's busy doing three-way calls and answering all our questions at the minute, though, but better give you a good feel for what she's doing.
And you'll see, like I'm not one of those that holds back from sharing, my faith or my beliefs or whatever the case may be. And I feel like, you really align with people. I used to do that. I used to say, don't share your faith, don't share your politics and all that. But, things have shifted. So I do share my faith, I do share my beliefs and things. And I feel like it resonates with the people that I'm meant to align with and do business with. And if it doesn't, that's okay, because I'm not here to do business with everybody. I want to surround myself with people that I enjoy being around and that I want to do business with. And I'm sure you all feel the same way. So I would just encourage you to be very authentic and real, when you're sharing.
Okay.
So go ahead, Paul.
No, I was going to say anything else because we've taken almost an hour of Laurie's time. So we need
For
to
those
start.
that are watching this from the school group, because we'll have people coming in, regularly, we're going to start, actually launching this on October 1, the 1 minute pay club, which is awesome. Go to the comments area, the main forum, the community area, and just let us know what your thoughts are on this training. Just put that in there, let Lori know how awesome this was as we get this going. But Lori, this has been awesome. It always brings me back when I listen to this, brings me back to like the core things that got me to where Paul and I are all into this. We love AI and there's so many awesome things
Yeah.
and we do all these cool things. But at the end of the day, when I really look at the success I have or
Yeah.
have, it's because of the relationships I built through
Yeah.
doing very similar to what you did. This is through social media. This is how Paul and I, we've never met in person. We've worked together for years. He's from the UK, I'm from the States, and we've literally never met anybody. So that came through social media and we connected on Facebook and we started working together and it's all because of these simple, consistent, I mean, this is how you meet people that can change your life. Literally change your life. You know what I mean? And if you guys are here, then having an opportunity to work with Lori and West and this community and the leadership here could literally, if it hasn't already, can change your life. So, that's why Paul and I are here. We're excited to be a part of this. We're excited to be a part of the 1 Minute Pay Club and just to see this community grow and expand all over the world, which is so cool about Talk Fusion too. All of it, what is it, 180 countries?
That's
Is
crazy.
that's insane. And we have a
Well,
digital product. We don't have a physical. This is about as simple as you get, and it's such a cool marketing tool that everyone can use. But you've been awesome. We appreciate your
thank you
time,
guys.
and I'll let Paul if you want to close it out, and
No,
we'll
I'll
we'll
just
shut
say we'll
everything
close
down.
it there. That is really awesome of you to do it, Laurie. And if you're watching this, and I encourage you just to take action because I got to 10K a month and it was all social media, and it's kind of giving me a kick in the ass because I'm not doing the engaging now, and I'm kind of doing the AI thing, and I'm working on YouTube and stuff, and it's just a kick in the ass to remind me that actually, do you know what? Probably where most of our successes come from, like Eric's just said, is actually from doing the social media stuff and taking 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. I can remember when I got really serious, I used to have 5 chats open at once on the screen
Yep.
because people, when they're typing, it's not that fast, and you could actually like have 5 conversations quite easily while you're watching Netflix, you know.
Yep.
And Laurie turns the TV off. I need the distraction. That's just the way I work. So you work differently, but I
Yep.
encourage you guys, get over any fears you got of doing it because it's worth it.
Yes.
So worth it. And we've got the right support here with Laurie and West. Right, we're going to end it. We'll end the recording there. Thanks very much.
Thank you
So if
guys.
anybody wants to say
Thanks
anything
to all of
mean,
you that were on today.
sorry.
I said thanks to everybody who was on
Oh,
today. I hope you got some value out of this. If it's just one thing, it was worth it.
yeah, absolutely. And it is for me, the business networks and go and engage. Right, on other people's posts rather than Eric's. Right. Right, we'll stop the recording there. Cheers. Thanks everyone for being on. Thank you.
Bye, guys.